All right, folks, welcome to Geometry Unit 1. Here we go. Okay, so here we are. Guys, geometry, this lesson, this video is going to be a lot of vocabulary. Geometry is like a language where we know how to write letters and numbers. Well, in geometry, there's a lot of symbols that you need to know how to read and write, okay? So as we go along, we're going to be doing a lot of drawing, like drawing figures and writing. So I want you to draw this point A, draw this line, okay? And make sure that you actually put the points A and B and the letter L and draw this plane. There's a lot of drawing and writing, okay, so that we're understanding. I'm just going to check one more time to make sure that we are in really well into the video. Yes, we are. Okay, and so down the left is actually, you already wrote point, line, and plane, okay, and so we're going to explain how to read it, recognize it, and write it, okay? So a point is just a location, okay? And, you know, the way that you, and that's what it will look like anywhere in your assignments, okay? But the way that you write it is you just write point A. That's it, okay? Or it could be represented with just a capital letter A, okay? So if you wanted to, if there was another point that was like point B, you could just write the capital letter B, okay? So now here we have a line, okay? A line is represented by, you know, there's a couple of ways. There's three ways that we could write this line. Three ways, okay? You're going to have to use 2 points on the line, okay? So let me write this in darker color, okay? So this is line. You're going to write AB. You're going to use the 2 points that are on the line to write it. And then above those letters, you're going to draw a line with 2 arrows on both ends of it, okay? And these 2 arrows tell you that this goes on to foreverness in both directions, okay? So that's why with a line, you must have the 2 arrows on both ends. That's how you know it's a line, because a line goes on to forever, okay? You can write it AB, or you can do the opposite and write it BA. Either one is fine. Or the third way that you can write or name a line is by using the lowercase cursive letter that is given to the line. And in this case, the lowercase cursive letter is L. So you would write line L. You wouldn't just write the cursive letter. You'd have to write the word line in front of it. So line L. So these are the 3 ways that you can write the way that you write a line, okay? Very important that you know that, because let me just jump ahead a little bit here, because if we were to erase that side, that arrow on the left side, now that becomes a ray. I'm jumping forward, you know? Or if we erase that side, now it becomes a line segment. So it's very important that you know if you have both arrows on either end, only on one side, or none at all, okay? So very distinct how we read it, how we write it, how to recognize it. Now here we have a plane. Now a plane can be written, okay, forgot to freeze the screen, okay? A plane can be written by using 3 points, okay, on the plane. So you would say plane, there's A, B, C. A, B, C. That's how you would write the plane, okay? So a plane is represented by a flat surface, okay, that extends. So this plane goes on, you know, forever, okay? Think of like glass wall, just keeps going on to forever. Doesn't have any thickness, and contains infinitely many lines and points, and it just extends without no end. So you can call a plane, but you have to use 3 points on the plane to name the plane, okay? So this is plane ABC. Or, notice here, okay, you drew it, so point an arrow to it, because you drew that in your notes. You could also call this plane P. Whatever capital letter is in the upper right-hand corner of that plane, okay, you could call it plane P, that capital letter, okay? So that's point, line, and plane. So there's, 2 ways you can write a point, 3 ways you can write a line, and then the 2 ways that you can write planes. Okay, moving on. So now we're going to talk about linear and collinear points, okay? So collinear points, I just want you to draw a line, something like this, okay? Draw a line. Collinear points are points, and I want you to circle the word line. Okay, circle that word line in the middle of collinear. Collinear means that they are points that are on the same line. Collinear makes total sense, okay? Now, same as coplanar, circle the word plan, okay? Circle the word plan. Coplanar, points that are coplanar are points that are on the same plane. So here we have an example that we're going to go over, but you can clearly see that point R, Q, and S are on the same line. And then points V, S, and R are coplanar because they're on the same plane, okay? And we're going to go over these examples live together, but I just want you to get collinear and coplanar, okay? We'll go over those examples together. So now let's scroll up once again. So back to reading and writing symbols of geometry, okay? So here we have segment ray and opposite rays, okay? I want you to draw it in your notes, okay? Doing it now, drawing it now. And how you write it, so this is a line segment. It has a finite length, okay? It begins at A and it stops at B. It begins and stops, that's a line segment, okay? And how we write that is we still use the 2 points, okay? A, B, but you write the line above it, because it begins here and ends there. It's a short distance. Or you can do the reverse, which is BA, okay? But that's how you know it's a line segment, because it's a line above the letters with no arrows at either end, okay? Very important. This is how we read symbols and understand it, okay? Now, here we have a ray, okay? Ray. R-A-Y. Draw it, okay? Again, we're still using A-B, okay? So let's write A-B, and here's a distinction. You can only use A-B, okay? Because with a ray, it starts at A and goes through B onto foreverness, okay? In that one direction. So you have to write the letter A first. So for example, you can't write BA for this. You can't, because this ray doesn't start at B, okay? It starts at A, which is why we write the A first, right? And then above it, you're going to write the line with the arrow, okay? Do you see how this is not solving and, using the calculator? This is a lot of vocabulary today, and symbols and reading and writing, okay? And drawing. Okay, so a ray begins at one point and goes on to forever in one direction only, okay? Now, here we have, now we're going to talk about opposite rays, okay? So you already drew this, okay? So now we're going to talk about opposite rays. Opposite rays have the same beginning point. So we're going to start at C and go on to forever through B. So CB, right? Starts at C and goes on to forever through B. And then the opposite is it starts at C and it goes on to forever through A. So CA, okay? It has to start where that ray begins is the letter that you write first. Where the ray begins, which is at C, is the letter that you write first. So it's CB, opposite rays, and CA, okay? So that's how you will recognize it when we look at our figures and answer questions based on the figures that were given, okay? And moving on, just vocabulary. So here you can see this is what we're going to discuss live as an example in class, but now I want you to write down this diagram here, which is going to talk about intersection. We're going to write down these two right here, and we're going to discuss. Now, I understand that drawing something like this would be slightly difficult to draw in your notes, totally fine, okay? But, you know, just do your best, okay? What we're talking about here is intersection, okay? So everyone write down intersection. Okay, and we've talked about this before. Where two lines cross each other, that is their solution. But in geometry, where two lines cross each other, put the dot, draw the arrow, that is where intersection, that is where they intersect. Where two lines cross, it's at a point. Everybody write point. Where the two lines cross each other, they intersect at a point, okay? But now we're going to talk about where two planes intersect, okay? So you can see the yellow plane, okay? And we should be able to name the yellow plane. And you can see the blue plane. Where two planes intersect, they form a line. Okay? Make sure you write that down. So we need to know what is created where two planes intersect. Where they intersect at a line. Okay? Again, being able to, recognize it. And this is line ST, so you would write they intersect at line ST, okay? And why do I know this is a line? Is because it has two arrows on either end, okay? Moving on. Okay, just a little more vocabulary, and we're going to have a little bit of practice. Okay, so just quick example. Looking here, you don't have to draw. This, but just look up here for a second. It says, what is the intersection of plane ADC and plane BFG? So we have plane ADC, so this is ADC, right? You're going to get something like this in your assignment, so you have to be able to see the plane. Does everyone see that plane? It's the top of the cube, okay? And then plane BFG, so BFG, okay? So can anyone tell me where those two planes intersect? Okay, where two planes intersect, they intersect at a line. BC. BC. So if you wanted to quickly draw that, you could, but it will be, okay? So the point is that where two planes intersect, they intersect at a line, okay? Can anyone tell me the two common points that both of those planes have in common? The 2 points that those two planes have in common? The 2 points that they share?
The 2 points that they share.
Yes, B and C. Those are the 2 points that they share, okay? So, Diego, can you get the door for me? Okay, last part I want to show you real quick, okay, is same thing at the right here, okay? You're going to get questions about, planes and intersections and points that they share. So we're going to go over this live in class, and then you'll have your assignment. Okay, so that's lesson 1.